Starting. Hey, what's the deal, YouTube? It's the Big Gamer Small Podcast weekly dick show. We're here. A lot of shit to talk about, so I'm gonna shut the fuck up and what's on first today's agenda? What we got going on, crap?
Okay, we got lots of stuff going on today. Actually, it's pretty big news week. We're gonna start off though with Sony. They lowered the price of The Last of Us, the remastered edition, which is something that we all said they should do because paying $65 for a game that came out just last year was a ripoff, especially when you compared it to the value that Microsoft is offering with the Master Chief Collection, 4 games, a beta, a movie, for the same price. So they lowered it by $10. Where they messed up was they refused to give that $10 refund back to people that might have pre-ordered on PSN. Now, since this story came out, Sony has gone ahead and said, okay, we're going to go ahead and refund that. So basically, Sony decided to refund it when people started pitching a fit about it because you know how they don't like to look bad. So Sony does a complete 180 from their initial look at the fine print. You know, there's no refunds to, oh, okay, it's a big deal. We don't want to look bad, so we're going to go ahead and 180 and refund the $10.
Oh, well, hey, you want to, hold on. Okay, she's in the room. Go sit down. Okay, here you go. I'm sorry. Hey, Ward, you want to chime on that? Because I know what I have my own personal.
Go ahead. You can go ahead.
Well, Daddy's shooting the show. Wait, hold on. Technical difficulty. Yeah, I'll be back in 1 second. Okay, I got to spill an ounce. Right back.
Go ahead, Shoes. I'm just glad that they lowered it. I mean, you know, they had to lower it and they did. I mean, the intent, what they were going to do versus what they did. I mean, you could argue that, but it's now $50, so you know.
Yeah, my problem with the whole price, even though they cut it, they dropped the price down. Even though they dropped the price down, it's still too high for a remastered game for one single game. $50 is still a little bit too expensive for me.
I mean, maybe 40 would be good?
Yeah, it's somewhere around there. You know what I'm saying? I can't see paying, you know what I'm saying? This game was out, a year ago? You know what I'm saying? Possibly. You know what I'm saying? And it's already being remastered and remade. And for $60, where here you got Microsoft, you know what I'm saying, putting out 4 games, all the DLC, 100 maps, you know what I'm saying, and a bunch of other little stuff. You know, got a whole bunch of bells and whistles in theirs, and it's $60. You gotta knock that down more than just $10, though. You know, I still think they stroking it. You know what I'm saying? And that's just me, man. They getting stroked. But that's me, man. Well, go ahead.
Well, Warrior, what did you think about? I mean, yeah, they reversed it, but I mean,
yeah, I mean, you know, the intent was there, but it's hard to, you know, everybody got down about DRM and what Microsoft was going to do, and then, you know, arguing what somebody was going to do versus what they actually did.
Yes.
You know, so they lowered it. You know, you could argue all day long that they were going to do something, but they didn't. Just like Microsoft was going to do something and they didn't.
All right, I'm back.
And you know, I mean, $50 is probably still, you know,
that's a lot.
A lot
expensive, man. That's a lot.
You know, $40 is a sweet spot for an HD remaster, I think, if you're going to get one game. But you know, listen, it's a popular game and people want it, so more power to them, you know.
Okay, can I go now, or is anyone?
Yeah, you can go ahead and go.
I'm sorry, if I repeat anything you might say, I do apologize. I had to spill an ounce. 7. You got kids. Here's my thoughts. Actually, I did a video on yesterday because if I was one of the dumb motherfuckers again, who and like I said, we talk about things they need to change, and I myself am guilty of supporting the same shit. You know what I mean? Because I went out and pre-ordered The Last of Us, yes, on PSN, and I didn't realize that they gave a price cut. But like I said, I complained about the price, but I still wouldn't spend my money with these motherfuckers again. And $60, $65 is too much, especially when Microsoft is giving you 4 games for the price of 1. And even again, $50, $60. I think that game should be $40, honestly. You know what I mean? And I think maybe it may be a PR stunt by Sony. You know what I mean? Just saying they're not going to do it, and they change right away. You know what I mean? It looks like, hey, we listen to the gamers. I think it may be. I don't see how they can justify keeping someone's money. I think Sony be doing that shit just for the attention to get then say, hey, we changed, and You know, but when Microsoft does it, they're not, how you say, received as well. You know what I mean? But I think again, $50 is still too much. And the game should be $40. No, honestly, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you know what? I brought that up also in a video that I did, which was both Sony and Microsoft had intent to do things that possibly looked anti-consumer. Sony will do a 180, and everybody will applaud and say, "Good job, great job, Sony listened. They're for the gamers. We love Sony." Microsoft will listen, do their 180, and people will still hate them a year later. I don't understand the
what do you mean, crap?
that.
What do you mean when you say they're for gamers? And I think a lot of people will, not say a lot of people will. Let me tell you something right now. I'm sorry if I come off being mean. You're fucking stupid if you think Sony cares about you or Microsoft. There's a fucking business. We are a dollar sign to all these companies. It's a business. I'm not going to respect that. You know what I mean? But, and again, so don't hold this misconception about Sony being all about the game. Because I guarantee you this, all honesty, if Sony can take back right now that hope for them trying to pull, take Microsoft knees from with the whole DRM thing, because Sony is bleeding for money right now. I know behind those closed doors and saying if probably why they let Jack Tritton go, because even what's his name, Kojima said that the price of the PlayStation 4 was kind of low, and they took camera out the box. You know what I mean? I'm just being real. Sony didn't have to do that because they had the ball in their court. Microsoft stumbled out of the gate. You know what I mean? So they didn't have to do, even if they stayed with the whole DRM thing, because they was going to do it also. You know what I mean? If you listen to their words, they say that we would not charge for our first party thing, but it's nothing about third party. I didn't see Ubisoft protecting their $75 million investment on the Xbox One and not doing the same thing on the PlayStation 4. You know what I mean? But like I said, this is what it is, though. But Sony needs all the money they can get. Because you take a game, not to get long, but you take a game like Infamous that has no replay value whatsoever. You know how many fucking used copies of Infamous or that you see or NAC that you see inside GameStop? Just being real, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. There's a lot of especially when you don't offer some kind of online component. No matter how tacked on it is, online components make some people come back. A lot of people, if they don't have a lot of money, will only buy a few games a year. So they want to make sure they buy games that have lasting playability, and oftentimes that's an online component.
Yeah.
I
mean, if you look at like Rise and Infamous, they both, once you end the thing a few times, it's nothing. You know what I'm saying? So you do need that online component.
Rise
get that longevity.
Rise and Infamous, their job was to demonstrate, the wow factor.
Yeah.
Those are early games. They're just there to demonstrate the wow factor. I mean, Infamous is the third game, so there's a following there, but Rise is a brand new franchise. But they're
there wasn't as much of a following as people had you believe, though. Like, it wasn't some big blockbuster series on the PS3. You know what I mean? Like, I can understand, why some people do like that game, but like, some people would be like, Infamous, that's a system seller. And I'm like, well, it's the third game in the series, and it didn't sell a lot. But, that may be starting to Sony hate a little early on this. At any rate, also, speaking of the Sony hate, and I think a couple of us have done videos on this, Sony right now is charging people in the PlayStation Now beta up to $30 to rent a game that costs only $18, brand new on Amazon. And this is people in the beta, and they're still forced to pay these outrageous prices to beta test this service. I mean, the service could be total shit right now, and these people are paying money to beta test these games.
Wow. Wait. Again, listen, and again, I'm no stranger to danger. Let me say this though. Think of beta. Betas are free. Now, I will say this, and I say yes and no because I was one of the, I was a beta tester for Xbox Live, and I had to pay for my kit or whatever the case may be. I paid for my kit, and end of the day, but I don't, especially like I said, wow. Have you guys have you guys seen any of this people stream? Like they showed only, do you see the latency? That shit is down to like 240p. Like some of those games being streamed, you know what I mean?
Hey, I got bad news for one. Just let me chime in real quick. Yoshida has confirmed that games that are played on there top out at 720p. So all those people that are hoof clicking about 1080p, man, all the games only 720p.
Some of them just are like 240p though. Like the latency It's
yeah,
hard.
on live had that problem too, which was, and I actually messed around with that a little bit just to try it out back in the day. Terrible looking stuff, you know, because it depends totally on your internet. You also have to be hardwired in to use that, or they're suggesting that you hardwire in to use PlayStation Now, which a lot of people can't do that.
Well, I'm just like, God, the pricing though. You know, if you get past the whole mumble about the wiring, Wi-Fi, whatever, this is the pricing. How could you charging me $5 for 4 hours? Like, what the fuck? You can buy some games, buy the game outright for $4.99. That's the craziest shit ever. Fucking $30 for fucking what's that shit?
90 days. 90 days.
You know, like you know what's
That's
the crazy thing is that Sony fans were defending this. Well, it's not forced upon us. Like, you know, like Microsoft, what the fuck is wrong with you?
That wasn't even forced upon us.
Yeah, you're not forced to buy. I tried to bring that up.
Forced to buy anything.
You don't have to buy an Xbox One. You don't have to buy a PlayStation 4. You don't have to use These are video games. But at the same time, it doesn't have to be forced on you for something to be anti-consumer or not consumer-friendly, which is what this is. Let's just be honest. And why can't people just go, hey, you're right, that's a dick move by Sony. I hope they change that because that's messed up. Instead, you get a bunch of people that try to spin that and deflect it, like, oh, well, let's talk about Microsoft or let's talk about this. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to ever admit that, hey, Sony fucked up here. You know what I mean? And then watch what happened. Mark my words. Sony is going to come out and say, oh, no, those aren't final prices. We're going to, you know, it's going to be much lower, blah, blah, blah. And people are going to be like, yeah, we told you. You just got to have faith in Sony. You know what I mean? Faith in Sony. They're going to come out smelling like a goddamn rose yet again. And their fans are going to be like, yeah, that's good. Give us that gravy, Sony. We love it.
How many passes is this company going to get, man? You know what I'm saying? I mean, good grief, man. They've been giving them passes for the longest. Microsoft did one thing, and they still hold on to that.
And what was that one thing?
How many passes is this
But what was this one thing that Microsoft did, though? What was this one thing that Microsoft did that was so bad? Like
the DRM thing. The DRM.
I mean, DRM has been around forever. Like, if
24-hour check-in.
Now, the 24-hour check-in. Listen. The 24-hour
passes, man. Good grief.
That right there was a little fucked up. And again, and what I think Microsoft was guilty of, the way that they delivered the message. If they would have, you know, and if they had a better front man and, you know, showed us the price of, you know, showed us the benefits of going this route, you know, maybe make the games cheaper or whatever the case may be, fine. You know, but all that, I guess it was basically to protect the developers. Like I said, again, not to be a bleeding heart for these devs, but this business model that we have is fucked up. You know what I mean? Not only is Activision competing against EA, and I'll say this again, it's like they also competing against GameStop, that are people that are selling their, you know, their product. And like I said, it's a fucked up thing, though, you know. But you know, like
but look what I'm saying, though. I mean, they've been lied to. You know what I'm saying? They not only have they been lied to. You know what I'm saying? They've been doing slick stuff with, you know, the money. You know what I'm saying? Not only that, then they've been hacked like 3-4 times already. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it's like a lot of stuff going on over there that's getting swept under the rug.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But if this was happening on Xbox side, man, it's still been talked about today.
Yeah.
This is what I'm saying. I mean, how many passes is they going to get? How many times we going to feel sorry for a company, you know what I'm saying, like that? You know what I'm saying? That's just my point, man. I'm really teed off at Sony right now. You know what I'm saying? Screw them, man. Screw them. You know what I'm saying? For real, screw them. I ain't going to say it. I'm going to say it. Screw them. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Y'all can kiss the baby. That thing is awful.
I say kiss the baby. I know. Listen, what I don't like that Sony does, and like I don't like the like prime example, like little shit that they do, like glorious 1080p 60 frames a second. I don't like that type shit that Sony does. You know what I mean? Like I said, had that been Microsoft that took the stage, talk about something that wasn't 1080p, forget about it. We would still be cleaning this spill up right now. You know what I mean? But you know, it is what it is, man. You know, I guess I don't know, but you know what, crap. I think we should talk. What about that petition right now? That's going on change.org.com.
Okay. I want to get to that in 1 second, Blake. I don't know if you heard about this, talking about this before the pre-show because you were busy, but the indie game Outlast came to the Xbox One, and we all know that it was on the PS4 a while ago or whatever. People got it as a rental if you were a PlayStation Plus subscriber. All right. WarioWart did a review of it that I like, so I sometimes will capture those and put them up on my channel because he does a good job with those, and I could always use the extra content. So I did that, right? So all of a sudden, a review, which usually reviews don't get this hot, has close to 3,000 views, and it's a bunch of salty Sony fans talking about how bad it looks on the Xbox One. There's frame rate issues. Just like they're so salty about it. And then you come to find out that they made a petition to keep this indie game exclusive on the PS4. I mean, really, they're pissed off that this indie game is on the Xbox One and not an exclusive to the PlayStation 4. I mean, that's how sad things have gotten.
It wasn't exclusive anyway. It was on PC.
Yeah, well, no, wait up. PC and PS4, that's still exclusive. They only say it's not an exclusive anymore if it's Xbox and PC. See, you gotta. They're mentally retarded. There's a lot of mildly retarded PlayStation fanboys out there. So things aren't exactly as they seem. You know, it's one way with one thing and the other way with the other thing. So hypocrisy at its finest.
Hypocrisy, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, like I said, you know what the crazy part? Like I said, you know what that site is for? Hold on. Stop. That site is for if you need a little Jimmy needs a kidney, and the hospital have some dick root. You know what I mean? Like some like these motherfuckers. Like, why I don't change that organ? Like, oh my god. Like, I've never seen so many petitions for Listen, fuck this. The gloves is off right now. Like, what the fuck? Like, you can tell right now they don't have any games to play. Like, who had fucking time to go fill out a petition? Like, you know what I mean? We're all gamers, you know what I mean? Like, if they're not begging for Xbox One exclusives, you know what I mean? Now they're begging for an indie game, you know what I mean, to stay, like I say, quote-unquote, exclusive on the play. That's the dumbest shit ever, like, for real, honestly. I thought they didn't like the game. They were complaining about it. You had to be online and all this shit. People just talking shit about it.
When did Outlast become an indie game, though?
I don't know. I mean, what else? Independent developer, publisher. Who the fuck is not made by big studio?
It was a pretty big title on the PC. It wasn't really indie.
But when they say indie, what it means is like it's not made by a big studio. It's not made by Activision, Crytek, or whoever the fuck is independent. You know, that's when the whole indie thing comes from. From independent, you know, company.
I think of 2D games when I think of indie.
Yeah, well, whatever. But that's mean anything can be an independent, you know, developer or whatever the fuck, you know. But I don't understand. They were just, you know, if you think of about a month or 2 months ago, they were just complaining about the game. They had to be online to play it. They were just talking shit about the game. So now that it's on the Xbox One, like, who the fuck has time to go fill that shit out? You know what? Fuck that. They should be playing. Like, what the fuck? What you got going on in your life to stop and pause to go fill out a petition? That's the crazy.
They don't got games. They don't got games to play.
No,
so.
But like that is crazy. Like, you know, that would never cross my mind. You know what's showstopper? I'm about to go to change all that now. Fuck that. I don't want to play. I don't want them to play. What's that shit? Zombie. What's that shit? Zombie Garden.
Zombie, yeah, Garden Warfare.
I don't want. Nah, they shouldn't have that game. No, they
should not have that game at all.
Yeah, like, you know, like, what the fuck, man? It's like I wish they would put out. I wish you to leave the file petition. I wish they could leave your name, your face, your address. You would get heckled. Like, what the fuck is up with you, yo? Like, oh my gosh, man. You know, and that's one of the things I did a video to talk about Sony fan base. Like, I'm more of an online dude. Who the fuck wants to mingle with motherfuckers like that with that type of thought, man? Like, that's crazy as hell, man. Don't get me wrong. You have your all fucked up fanboys in a console, but Jesus, my God, man.
Yeah, that's completely, you know, I don't understand the thinking behind it either. I mean, what happened to the days of just, you know, enjoying your console, enjoying your games or whatever? You know what I mean? Like, weren't they the ones that say that it's good for indies to put their games on these consoles, and then when it comes to the Xbox One, all of a sudden it's not good anymore? You know what I'm saying? These are just indie games. You know what I'm saying? Who cares? You know, who cares? It is good for the developer if it comes on more platforms. Do you honestly think that all those indie games were just going to stay exclusive because they love Sony so much? It's a business. Sony is using these developers to fill the void left by the lack of third-party AAA titles or what have you, first-party AAA titles, AA titles, and that leads us directly into the next topic, which is Yoshida came out and confirmed that the PlayStation Vita is done with first-party games. It's more of a companion thing for the PlayStation 4, and it's also in the same day confirmed that the lack of AAA exclusives first-party exclusives on the PlayStation 4 isn't just something that's going to go away. He says that the indies are going to take the place and fill the void of the AAA games, because AAA games are too expensive for them to keep putting out, especially when people aren't buying them to begin with. You know what I mean? So for all the people that were expecting PS3 level support with all those exclusives, hunker down and hope you like indies. You know, what are you guys' thoughts on that?
Well, that's why. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go, bro. Go.
You know, that's why I keep coming back to the word parity. You know, the generations. It's switched now. You remember when the 360 and the PS3. The PS3 was all about first-party titles that you couldn't get anywhere else, and they looked better than anything. And the 360 had its exclusives that sold well, but it also had third parties that performed good and looked better for a majority of the generation. Towards the end of the generation, they caught up. But now it's switched. You know, Sony's using that third party's going to look better, going to play better, and whether or not, you know, it's messaging or, you know, there are a lot of games that come out that are higher resolution and stuff like that. So if they could sell that message, then it's going to work. That's why it's important for there to be parity. That's why I kept saying, you know, like the 1080p thing, it's not a big deal to me or maybe to anybody else listening or to you, but in terms of the overall market, it is a big deal because there's a thing called perception, and perception is reality. So if there isn't parity, it could work in Sony's favor in terms of third party.
Maybe a bit, but the problem with that is there wasn't parity last gen, and Sony seemed to do well. A lot of third-party games actually sold better despite lesser resolution or frames per second on the PS3.
Right, but we're in a different gen. You can't compare one gen to the other. It's a totally different message now, totally different perception. You have to adjust each gen.
But not everybody that games is, you know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people that I know personally in my life, they don't go online forums and things like that. You know, they bought a new Xbox because it was the new Xbox. You know, they're going to buy the Call of Duty or the Halo or the Gears of War because those are the games they play. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to look
I agree with you. The only thing I'm basing that off of is numbers. And I'm looking at Watch Dogs. It's almost 2 million on PS4, and it's barely 1 million on the Xbox. So the perception is out there, and that's why.
Well, there's also a couple million more units out there too. So I'll point out this: the PlayStation gamers are probably a little bit more starved for actual AAA type experiences, whereas the Xbox, in my opinion, not to get any hate, but the Xbox One has more variety, and there's bigger, you know, exclusive. People still play Titanfall and, you know, what have you. So I feel like Sony hasn't really. The last game they really released, it was Infamous in March. So.
Right.
And obviously people are done with that, judging by the abundance of used copies.
I just think you know, that whole parity thing, I would have thought it would have been addressed by now. Hopefully it's, you know, I'm not saying that it's going to be, every game's going to be 1080p. I'm not saying it's important, but perception-wise, there is a message out there now that it could be squashed. You know, it could have been squashed by some sort of addressing of the issue with developing or something like that.
Let me ask you a question, Rory. Now, you such as myself, you are a multi-console owner, right? Let me ask you. Now, you know, you have both. You have the Xbox One. You have the PlayStation 4, right?
And
now, I'm saying the Wii U. Now, but me
you go count that.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying. I'm just saying now. Now, you have, like I said again, you have both consoles now.
Right.
Is anything on your PlayStation 4 screams that is so much more powerful than your Xbox One?
The only thing that, I mean, to be fair, the only thing is the technical aspect in terms of some of the multi-platform games that are higher resolution and are running a little better.
But can you tell? I mean, honestly,
that's the thing. There's you know, there's truth in numbers, and then there's, you know, there's everyday use. And like, you know, I have Watch Dogs, and I also have the PS4 version. A friend of mine was taking it back, and I just got it off him for $20. It's 900p, right? I mean, the Xbox One version is 792, but, you know, and I'm not saying that, you know, there isn't a difference, but I'm saying in playing the game, it's not that big a deal to me to where I would say I have to get this version of Watch Dogs, you know? Now, there are games like Wolfenstein that they're both 1080p, right? And obviously it's great for Wolfenstein because it looks great. But what I'm trying to say is, like, in the future, if this continues, the message would be like, if you have, like, let's say Destiny. We know Destiny. Bungie said that they're going to use that reserve to get 1080p, correct?
Yeah.
On the Xbox One. Am I right in that or no?
Yeah, 1080p, 30 frames a second on both of them.
Okay. So now let's say, like, they couldn't get it, and that's a big game, and then the perception out there is this is a big game. Why wouldn't somebody get the version that's 1080p?
Well, here's my.
If they had the choice, if they had both.
Well, here's my thing. And I'm glad you said that. And this is my thought process. And again, don't make nobody eat shit. When I think of Destiny, I think of MMO. Right. I think of online.
Right.
And when I think of online, I think of Xbox Live.
Right.
Not PSN.
Right.
I'm just being real. The services are night and day.
Right. Right. I'm agreeing with you. I'm just saying.
You know what I mean? So that's when that factors me. That's it's not DLC time exclusive because I don't care. That doesn't, because like I said, I'm not really into buying map packs and all that shit. I beat the game and I'm fine. If I do go back, that doesn't. You know what? I'm gonna buy the PlayStation 4 because they're gonna have this shit before. That does. My thing. I hope the game is goddamn fun. But when it's an online only, so like to me, like right. Microsoft with the X has the better online service. That's for me. Now, like I said, I have the PlayStation 4, and I have I don't have many games, but I bought the exclusives, whatever the case may be, and I get NBA 2K. I have it on both platforms or whatever. But I'm just saying, there's nothing on the PlayStation 4 that screams that it's so much more powerful than the Xbox One. Granted, I have a great TV. Like, I don't know. Like, nothing on my Xbox One looks bad. Now, I said it to say this. Out of all that, even if the Xbox One, if they can't close this whole 1080p and Microsoft only does 900p, I'm fine. I would take that trade-off because of the features. Right. I love multitasking with my console.
Right.
When I go to my PlayStation 4, it's like, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean?
I'm agreeing with what you're saying, but
that's my thing.
What I'm trying to point out is that, there's a large percentage of people that don't think like this. There's a large percentage of people that want whatever the best is in the current space, that's what they want. So the perception thing, like, I don't care about the perception. I'm just saying that this is the problem that I see. Mm-hmm. If they haven't, I would have thought they would have closed it by now. Now, DX12, Phil Spencer said it's not going to be that big a deal.
Actually, he said his exact tweet was, somebody asked him if it was going to be a game changer, quote, and he said it's not going to bring massive change, but it's going to obviously be something that's going to help developers. So people ran with this word massive not being massive change, and all of a sudden we're like, it's not going to do anything.
Right, well, what I'm saying...
Hold on, let's just say this one thing. Not to say I'm some big techie, but from what I've read, and everyone said that it's going to cut the CPU usage in half by 50%. And that is, they can do a lot more with that,
Right, and that's what I'm trying to say. If that allows for parity, then that
is good.
Yeah. Then the
is it still thought out there that the Xbox One can't achieve 1080p? Are people still thinking that?
Yeah, I mean, there are. I mean, look, Watch Dogs didn't do it. I mean, PS4 didn't do it either. But I mean, 900 versus 792, people are going to run with that, and sites run with that. And if you're a console owner and you don't game on PC,
yeah, let me ask you this word. You did a video into yourself, okay? If 900p is not cool for the Xbox One, why is it cool for the PlayStation 4?
Well, it isn't. But I'm agreeing with you. I'm saying that there's a perception that's each gen is different. Last gen, you cannot say what happened last gen means something this gen. This gen, the dialogue is power and 1080p, right? Mm-hmm. So whoever wins that perception battle is going to get sales. Sales equals
power? What? You know what? I guess maybe come think about last generation because right. Sony did preach was power. Power of the PS4. Like, to me, I thought it was always about the games, And listen, I will say this: there are a lot of Xbox fans out there that have not crossed over yet. You know what I mean?
What I'm saying though is that if the message is power and 1080p, right? If I'm Microsoft, my answer to that isn't PR stuff. It's let's make these games able to be on par, and then that goes away. That argument goes away. So that hasn't happened yet, and I'm hoping that it does happen because that's what I mean. Messaging equals sales. Sales equals support. Support equals sales, and it runs and runs and runs and runs and runs and runs, and eventually, you got to do something to stop it.
Yeah. But is it up to Microsoft? I mean, here, to give you the tools. I mean, if these developers are not taking advantage of Microsoft's like the talent, resource, and all that shit right there, like but like I said, these new dev kits are out, and you heard what Insomniac said. Right. They could have, attained. They still may obtain 1080p, but they wanted to give more particle effects and all this other, shit here. And I'm cool with that. How you can do. And it's the thing. And again, from a technical standpoint, Rory, the fact that, and if you take a game like, maybe you may disagree, but you take a game like Sunset Overdrive, when he says seamlessly multiple, go into a phone booth and then no load, no lag, bam, multiplayer.
Right.
The PlayStation 4 can't do anything like that.
Right.
Nothing. So to me, that's a good trade-off for me. But maybe I'm the mature one here. I like the fact I don't have to pause. I ain't got to scroll down and go back to the main menu. Hey, it was a phone booth right there across the street. Boom. Oh, multiplayer.
Right. Well, that's great. That's a feature. Features. You see, this is the thing. Features aren't front and center in messaging now. It's not. Yeah. It's resolution. And listen, don't make a mistake. Resolution is important. It's not like it's not important. I mean, it is graphics on the screen. So, Microsoft's a PC company, and like you said, it's not. Is it up to them? It is up to them. Get better tools out there. And if you're worried about this parity issue, which I'm sure somebody is, I mean, it's not that big a deal, but I'm sure they're saying, hey, listen, these games got to be equal. Then get the tools out there and make it happen. And if it's not going to happen, then try and change the messaging to features. Because listen, Microsoft is not Sony. Sony is not Microsoft. People buy Microsoft products for different reasons than people buy Sony products. If you like what Sony gives you, you buy Sony. If you like what Microsoft gives you, you buy Microsoft. And then you say, like, I like the features, I like things like that. But what I'm saying is people aren't talking about features now. They're screaming about resolution.
The people that are screaming about resolution, in my opinion, I see very few actual, like, gamers or non-biased gamers or Xbox gamers talking about resolution. It's mostly the Sony fans that talk about resolution, and the sites that run with resolution are trying to attract these Sony fans because that's what pays their bills. And I'll also say one other thing is, no matter if Microsoft gets parity, it's the weaker console. The Xbox One is weaker. So even if they reach parity, there's always going to be some kind of thing that they took out to reach parity, and Digital Foundry is going to find it, and they're going to run with it, just like with Wolfenstein. Okay, so there was one cutscene that wasn't, so they gave the win to PS4. This is going to happen time and time again. Destiny is going to be the same way. I'm sure it's going to be 1080p 30, just like the PS4 version.
Hey, crap. I mean, so you know what? And again, it was my time to throw the damage control hat today. I'd fucking call me the fanboy. But again, what matters to me, I would, say, I would get it. The PlayStation right now, the PlayStation 4 is the more powerful console. Okay, but that is, you got to think about the game and the game machine, and give me the games. To me, if Microsoft can keep up this thing this right, with putting out these great games and stuff, I think that that whole resolution shit is gonna go out the window. Now, whatever resolution that breakdown is Quantum Break is in, that game fucking looks amazing. Am I right or am I wrong? Who the fuck would play this game? Oh, I'm not gonna play that game because it's mixing the pixel.
Right. Yeah. I mean, but to me, it comes down to replayability. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, mama.
A lot of games on the PlayStation right now. I see a lot of them traded in. You know what I'm saying? Those same 1080p. I go in my games spot and see Killzone, Infamous. I can go get any of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? But it's hard pressed not to say that you don't find certain games like the multiplats and stuff like that. But it's hard pressed finding certain games to buy right now on the Xbox One because of replay value.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying you can have 1080p, but is that game fun? You know what I'm saying? I don't see a lot of fun into this 1080p stuff because it's been all about power. Once you get over the power, now you got to play a boring game.
Right.
Of just what?
I agree with you.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I'm sitting here, I'm looking like, come on now. I mean, my brother got the PlayStation 4, and I go down there. I dibble and dabble on it, you know what I'm saying, just to see what's so great about it. But, you know what I'm saying, he's bored out of his mind, man, without all these indies. You know what I'm saying? He comes to my house all the time. He'll be here later. You know what I'm saying? Because he don't want to play on that crap. You know what I'm saying? So he's about to trade his in. I mean, it's just like, I don't know what to do on there. It's a lot of indies on that console. Right. A lot. You know what I'm saying? You can have 1080p. Where's the games that display this power?
Yeah, I mean,
all their exclusives. Is it in 1080p? All their exclusives?
Yeah, but all their exclusives thus far is 1080p that I know of.
Except for
besides the order.
It's not besides the order.
And Watch Dogs.
Okay, it's Drive Club.
But Watch Dogs is not an exclusive,
right.
All Sony games are not in 1080p. Battlefield, but what I'm saying.
Well, Killzone is only 720p online, so.
Yeah, I'm just saying, but they're exclusives. Besides I don't give the orders, was 800p or some shit. Those black bars, you know, that's you can't, like, come on, like, you got to call a spade here.
Yeah, but my thing is, where's the power? You know what I'm saying? Not only that, what is in the community of these games? Like Infamous, I thought there should have been more people in that game.
There's no online factor. There's no online.
I mean, even if it's not an online factor, they should have had more people in that game. If you look at Dead Rising and Rise of Son of Rome, all these single players, you know what I'm saying? They have a lot more people in that city, man. I mean, it's a lot more activity going on.
That's because if you have a lower resolution, you can do more stuff. Insomniac Games said that about Sunset Overdrive. They're like, you know, we wanted to scale back on the resolution a bit so that we can have more effects, more enemies on the screen, better AI, which is, you know, that's the right way to go about it. And Microsoft doesn't force developers to do 1080p. And a lot of the games that Sony does do that, like Thief, for example, they have shit textures on the game. There's always a trade-off to doing that. You know?
That's my point. It's like we sit here worrying about resolution when they stripping the fun out the games.
Hey, and we're the ones that are carrying it on with that too. It shouldn't even be a topic. Let's be real. Yeah. People hate Microsoft right now. I wouldn't say a lot of, but the vocal minority, they fucking hate Microsoft. I've never seen a company get as much hate for no goddamn reason in my life for something that they tried to do. They were trying. Yeah, they fucking poorly executed their mission statement. I grant you that, right? But get over it. They didn't fucking do any of that stuff, right? They have great games coming out, a great fucking system, great online. You know, get over all the bullshit is what I'm gonna say. And on top of all this, right? That's why the PlayStation 4 sold more. People were outraged by the whole DRM thing or whatever. Yeah, so people there's more PlayStation 4s out there. Of course that shit's going to sell better. You know what I'm saying? That you have that initial group of people that were pissed off and made a judgment call, a snap decision to buy a PlayStation 4, and you know, and now we're also seeing a lot of people trade in and be like, "Wow, man, I fucking made a mistake. Microsoft didn't go through with that stuff. They got all these great-looking games coming out." And the Sony fans, the only thing they can pimp is 1080p, which you can't really do that because not every goddamn game on the system is 1080p. You can only talk about that shit when you have every goddamn game on that console running that. Otherwise, you're a fucking hypocrite. You're a fucking hypocrite otherwise.
What I'm trying to say is you're missing what I'm saying. I'm not saying that.
Yeah, you're saying, I understand.
I'm saying, well, let me tell you what I'm saying. Don't come.
Oh, shit. The white boy. White.
What I'm saying is that, you know, Don Matrick, all those people who were in charge, coming from like they weren't in charge of going from the original Xbox to the 360. They were there, but they weren't in charge of what was going on in terms of the system and stuff. From the 360 to the Xbox One, Don Matrick, his whole crew, if they are still there, they should be fired. They were awful. Terrible, out of touch, had no idea what was going on with consumers, had no idea what was going on with gamers. They weren't gamers, they didn't talk to gamers, didn't do anything. Okay? Now, he did do a good job of getting money with the apps and the advertising and stuff like that. So you got to give him credit, right? Yeah. But, you know, I sit here and I look at Phil Spencer and what he has been able to do just in, how long has it been since Phil Spencer took over?
About 3 months.
A couple months.
Right. Okay. And just in like 3 or 4 months, right? Talking about games, you know, when they bring up the crap about resolution and what do you think? Like Jeff Keighley at E3, the first question he asked him was, a lot of the games you showed are third party. Why are people going to buy them if they're going to look better on the other system? And what did he say? He said, you know, these games are about fun. I look at Xbox Live. I look at what we're doing there, and that's a strength. If he would have been there from the beginning, right, the messaging would have been much better. That's what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. The messaging now, that's the messaging. It's resolution. It's power. That's the messaging. And in order to change that messaging, it's going to be very difficult for him to do. Can he do it? I hope he can. I think he can. But that's what I'm saying. The messaging now, you can't get past that. The only way to get past that is parity. And if you can't get parity, then you have to change the message.
You're not gonna have parity, but they did change the message. I thought at E3 where Phil Spencer, they have this new buzzword. Games are more fun on Xbox One, and they brought up Xbox Live is the best place to play. Right. You know, dedicated servers, all this stuff. So I think that you know that's gonna work. And Sony, give them props. They didn't mention 1080p one time during their conference.
Because they did mention the camera, though, right? They did say the camera optional.
No, they did say 1080p, the Battlefield thing.
Yes.
That wasn't at a Sony's conference. That was at EA's conference, and they had
that was Adam. It wasn't Adam Boyd was there.
Adam Boyd went to the EA conference.
Oh, okay, all right. I got you.
And it wasn't 1080p 60 frames per second either. It was sub.
Yeah, it was 900p 30 frames per second. Yeah. So I mean, he was just doing that to get a quick pop. But I'm just saying that I think that's all a thing of the past, because you even have people like the Witcher developers. CD Projekt Red come out and say it's a PR stunt by Sony. We even had to go to our tech guys to find out what the fuck the resolution difference meant to the average gamer, and then it turns out it doesn't matter at all, really.
Let me tell you what the truth is. Let me break it down for you. Here's the truth. If 1080p matters, it really matters, right? You're a gamer, and it matters to you so much. It's very important. It makes everything look better, right? If it really mattered to you, you wouldn't be gaming on a console, period.
Yeah, you'd be on PC.
Right. The only reason that it matters to people now is because you have a console and somebody else has one, and the latest game out now is lower resolution than you have. That's the issue now. So it's not really about 1080p, because the people that want that stuff are gaming on high-end PCs, and they're getting, you know, crazy resolutions and crazy frame rates. So if you want that, go buy a PC and play on that. It's just about hating now. That's the thing.
Yeah, like I said, people, the perception is they hate Microsoft for some bullshit reason or whatever that they made up in their head, but they're going to hate on them no matter what. They could both run the exact same thing, and people would still find something to hate on. It would just be something else, and the message would still be muddled.
It'd be exclusive DLC. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, hey, how often last gen did we hear, oh, Microsoft, they're such faggots, man. They just buy time DLC. They don't care about exclusives. They don't fucking care about exclusives. Why don't they spend some of that money that they're spending on time DLC on getting some exclusives? And now it's all about multiplats run better on the PlayStation. We get Destiny exclusive DLC for 3 months. Whoop the fucking shit. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's always going to be something. And the sad fact is that the vocal minority, which is these idiots at NeoGAF and M4G and places like this, you know, are the ones that are fucking causing this. It's not the average gamer. The average gamer is like, I had an Xbox before. They're going to get what their friends had. They're going to buy, and all these boxes fucking say 1080p. It's not like if you get Watch Dogs for the Xbox One at GameStop, it doesn't say 792p on the back. It says 1080p. You know what I mean?
It actually doesn't.
You know,
just they don't have resolution on the back of their boxes.
Well, the 360s did. I haven't really looked at the.
PS4 ain't got resolution. I got a PS4 game in my hand. Let me see.
No, Xbox One games.
They don't say 1080p in the back of them.
No, I think all of them are just HD or something like that. There was an article about that a while ago about how none of the boxes have.
Sony shit. I got one. See. Hold on.
Sony's does.
Yeah.
Watch Dogs one does. I know that.
And Watch Dogs says 1080p on their Sonys, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Microsoft shit don't say it. I'm looking at this shit now.
That's odd. Like, I've never fucking looked at the back of these Xbox One packages.
None of them say anything about resolution.
Yeah. Oh, all right. Well, all right. Next topic.
Oh, okay. Hold on. I was looking at the fucking boxes.
Yeah.
All right. Well. Xbox One doing really well in Japanese.
Oh shit! Let me put my Christmas pajamas back on. Where you at, bitch?
Apparently, it's and it's the Connect bundle is the one that's really killing it over there.
Hey, crap! I don't know if you remember they did a survey. Maybe I think about 3 months ago, over in Japan, and it was saying how many people were interested in buying the Xbox One, and they all said it wasn't about the games, but it was about the multitasking features and the Connect. I guess Windows 8 is a big hit over there in Japan, and they were all interested in the multitasking features of the console.
You know what I was thinking? If they could come out with a game with the Kinect where you dress like a squid or like a schoolgirl with an umbrella or something like that, that would be huge there.
Stupid.
Well, I can tell you why it's. Look, it's easy to say. Do we know that it's going to do well? Who knows? But we know that PlayStation probably had a 10-to-1 advantage over previous Xboxes, and if they can cut that down to 3-to-1, that's doing something.
Yeah.
And let's be honest, Sony fucked over their own people by not releasing their console over there first, and then when they do finally release it, what's the bundled-in game? You got fucking Knack. There's no Japanese games that are going to appeal to that audience right now.
They had Yakuza 5 or whatever the fuck you call it in Dynasty Warrior.
Yeah,
those were exclusive launches there. You know what I mean? But believe it or not, I think the Wii U is outselling the PlayStation 4 in Japan right now.
Oh yeah, dude, because the Wii U has games.
I don't think the Xbox is going to outsell any one of those two over there. No. But I do think it's going to do well. I like how they launched this time with support from the developers and how they did that. You know what I'm saying? I think that was just key. You know what I'm saying? To them being at the the top of the charts right now. Just the support that they have around there in the community. I think that's being a big part of why a lot of people wanting to purchase this console. And then not only that, a lot of Japanese like to do a lot of multitasking with their electronic devices.
Mm-hmm.
It fits right into their hands of that.
Yeah, well, they like those cameras and stuff.
Yeah. Well, the Xbox One, it's a different market, of course, but they're launching with a karaoke app over there or some shit. And
what's the price? Is there a bundle over there?
There's a bundle.
It's coming with 2 goddamn games. They're getting Titanfall and
Connect Sports Rivals.
Yeah.
I don't know about Titanfall. Yeah.
It's got mechs. Apparently, it did well. It did well at TGS at the Tokyo Game Show last year over there.
Mm-hmm.
There was a big queue for it to play it. So apparently, and not only that, but check this out. Xbox One is launching over there with 29 games, I believe, which is pretty damn good for a launch. 29, yeah. And Dead Rising 3, that's made by a Japanese developer. They like that kind of weird shit. They like racing games, so Forza 5 is actually pre-ordering real well over there. You can see
better than fucking Infamous Second Son.
Yeah, you could see, and I'm not saying, I don't have grand delusions here, but I could say for maybe at least a month, Xbox One might outsell the PlayStation 4 and Wii U over there. So.
I don't know. I'm not gonna go that far. I'm not saying it's going to sell anything, but I will say this. I will go on a limb and say this. The Xbox One would do much better than the Xbox 360 does there, especially if they can acquire Capcom. If they can acquire Capcom, forget about it.
You know what was interesting about that Capcom thing? I thought it was just us crazies, like local indie type podcasts that were talking about that. But the big ones at IGN covered that too. They're like, I was like, what the hell? You know what I'm saying? They're like, they must be like, that's a legit thing. When I think that gives some credibility to what we do when some of these so-called bigger ones are like.
You didn't know? Greg Miller's he's subscribed to the show. You didn't know that?
I didn't know.
Yeah, I'm fucking lying. Fuck, I didn't faggot.
I was gonna say, what the hell was he during the E3 thing? Was pink shirt or whatever?
Yeah, pink shirt. Yeah.
Pink shirt guy. Yeah. So so it'll be interesting to see what it does over there. They're getting a pretty good deal, and hey, they're using boxes with cool box art like we tweeted to them.
Oh, they are. Is that?
That's the Japanese box, the one with Titanfall and Connect Sports Rivals on it.
Mm.
So I think that's kind of cool. It's going to have.
What's good for them also? We got to realize this too. Not for nothing. The Xbox brand has a small, not big, very small cult following in Japan. First of all, you have a lot of American soldiers that are stationed in Japan. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And now this generation, the console was region free. that they're going to have access to the same content we're going to have here in the States. So that is a win-win for the Japanese fans of the Xbox brand name. Before they didn't get the same games, the same content that we got here in the States. You know what I mean? So that's a big thing for them. You know what I mean? A good thing for them. Sorry.
Hey, and speaking of Japanese support, it came out that Japanese developers are fully supporting the Xbox One, including getting Dynasty Warriors 7, in which the co-vice president of Tecmo talked about using cloud compute to get up to 10,000 NPC soldiers to do field battles simultaneously, which would be thanks to Azure and Xbox Live Cloud. Now, we all here know that the cloud doesn't exist, right?
Yeah,
but this is a Japanese developer, wanting to use that non-existent technology, and
they showed it there. Cool. That was a big hit. Not to cut anyone off. When they talked, but you gotta realize this too. And those guys are watching the show, and I know that Japan's bandwidth is a lot higher than here in the States. They get like a gig up and a gig down.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like seriously. And shout out to my little bro Fast. He sent me, you take you go to what's the website you do the test? What's that shit? Speedtest.net. And he screenshotted that motherfucker had 956 megabytes up, and I'm like, God damn, the gig down. I said, damn. And that's like the normal there in Japan. You know what I mean? So. They can really take advantage of doing some crazy shit with the cloud over there, honestly. And latency is not an issue there. So when they showed, talking about the cloud and had the power of 36 Xboxes there, that's why they were really all on the board, because that's a reality there.
You know what I just thought of when you were talking about the cloud? I can't wait to play Crackdown 3, man.
Well, it's just Crackdown. It's not Crackdown 3.
I'm sorry. Yeah, Crackdown.
Yeah.
I love those games. I even like the second one. It really.
I liked the second one. It got a lot of hate, but I felt if because it was a lot like the first one, but I felt that
the first one was just fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah, I liked them both, but I thought that that's an underrated franchise there that didn't get much attention.
Did they see how many people were going to be on the co-op?
No, they didn't announce that. But I'm assuming it's got to be at least 4.
8, yeah, about 4 or 8.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask you guys a question. Switch this now and this end of this year. That's all 4 of you guys, all 3. Yeah. What are you guys looking for most? All 3 of you guys. I'm sorry. What game are you most looking forward to at this year, 2014?
Sunset. Well, it's hard to say, man.
One game.
Just one. Damn, man.
One.
Sunset Overdrive.
How about you, Worry?
It's this year, correct?
Yeah, this year.
It's got to be one.
There's one. Even if you down to your last $60, bro, or you got to go blow that homeless man and get on the corner and you need to trick with them.
I would go with Sunset Overdrive.
Sunset Overdrive. So you would pick Sunset Overdrive over the new Assassin's Creed?
Well, you said one game, so now.
Yeah, I'm just asking. You pick that Assassin's Creed. It's amazing.
Well, I also want that Alien game.
I don't know. I've been burnt by so many goddamn alien games.
Everybody has, but we still bought them, man.
Yeah, I'm done. I'm hopping out that G-Rock. How about you, Sho?
I'm looking most forward to Intertwine.
Damn. Nigga said,
I want my bird and my fish.
Showstopper wants to wrap his legs around a bird and a fin.
Damn.
Hey, hold on now.
Damn.
Hey, I'm worried.
Hey, hold on. Let me get my game out there.
That game is out now. In 20 minutes.
Oh man. I'm talking about to the Xbox One. I want that game. I was playing. I want you made me lose my train. It gotta be Sunset Overdrive right now.
Oh, actually, now
most
listen.
Anticipated.
Now,
most anticipated right now.
You guys picking Sunset Overdrive over the Halo collection? I thought you guys.
Because it's a newer game.
Yeah, it's a new game.
It's a new IP that I haven't even played. I played Assassin's Creed and all that. You know what I'm saying? I know what that game entails of, but
no, that new Assassin's Creed. I just looked at it again.
You know what though? Is Assassin's Creed gonna look like that when it comes out?
See, you know what? I'm glad you brought that. Ubisoft, they're tarnishing their brand, whatever fuck, because They're all no. But listen. I will say this: everything showed at Microsoft was shown in the actual Xbox One, or actual Xbox One hardware.
So Witcher 3 in particular, which I thought looked really good on Xbox One hardware.
Yeah.
But you got to realize too, the Assassin's Creed has this new Affinity engine, or whatever the fuck the case may be. But that it was very, very pretty. You know what I mean? So, but I think Ubisoft is kind of tarnishing their brand with that shit, though. They giving bait and switch. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it was nothing showed from PC. But that wasn't the PC version. That was the actual Xbox One version. I'm looking forward to playing. I'm probably gonna pick Sunset Overdrive 2, and maybe a hard second is probably Assassin's Creed. But that co-op, like, wow, I'm really looking forward to playing that game in co-op. Like,
my second would be Forza
Horizon.
Horizon 2.
Hold on. How next gen get away with 2 games?
I don't know, man.
That's what I
said,
man. I said just one.
Hey, everybody had to pick one, man.
Hey, man, it's my show, damn it.
You slid it in there, man.
It's my show, god damn it. Who fucks all the brains? It's my show,
He said it's my money and I want it now.
Yes. It's my money and I want it now. It's my show.
Oh, man, that's classic.
Yeah, man. I don't know. Oh, shit, yeah.
Go ahead, though. Yeah.
So let me ask you a question. So you said, Craig, you're looking forward to Forza Horizon more than the crew? The crew looks fun.
Yeah, no, Forza Horizon is the one for me because it's on dedicated servers. It's going to have all the customization, no load times between single player and multiplayer.
Here he goes.
1,000 person clubs, because the Bang Bang Group is doing their own club too, right? Dynamic weather at launch. They don't got to patch that shit in after launch.
Hey, you gotta have some romantic music playing in the background.
What kind of fucking game has to patch weather in after launch on a game that was delayed a year to begin with? That's what I'm talking about. But anyway, yeah, Forza Horizon 2, I already have that shit pre-ordered. The same with Sunset Overdrive, So do you notice a little bit of difference though that we all pre-order mostly like the exclusives are what we look most forward to?
I don't pre-order anything. I think pre-ordering is stupid.
Like Cartman said, when you pre-order something, you get a dick in the mouth. That's basically it. But yeah, like no, I pre-order shit just because it's a good way to keep track of what you're gonna get. And
I say I'm a man of little means, so I have to I get a welfare check between me and my 8 children, so I have to pinch off, little by little. So that's why I do it like that, bro. Shit. But I don't know. But do we have anything else? You want to open up to a few questions? Do we have any more questions?
You can start getting them some questions in. I just wanted to talk a little bit about this Bungie thing. Right now, Bungie's getting a lot of hate from Xbox fans.
Oh yeah, let's talk about that. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'll explain a little bit further. Destiny, multi-platform game, coming to Xbox One, Xbox 360, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 3. Game looks pretty good from what I can see. Like an MMO version of Halo, plays a little bit differently. I think it looks pretty good. The problem is the Xbox fans are kind of mad right now because they feel like Bungie is kind of screwing over the Xbox fans that made them what they are. Let's face it. Without Xbox fans, Bungie would be nothing, But the thing that I wanted to point out is they signed a 10-year deal with Activision. Activision has controlling interest of Destiny. Activision was the one that signed a deal with Sony. So I think that some of the hate should be directed towards Activision. But then again, if you're an Xbox fan, you're getting Evolve stuff early. You're getting Call of Duty, Battlefield stuff early. So, I mean, it all evens out. Like, I'm going to keep it real, even though I'm the Xbox guy. You can't be mad at that and then not be mad that Microsoft is getting these other game DLCs ahead of time as well. So I think that, it's misplaced anger at Bungie when we should be looking at it as Xbox One's the only place to play Halo and motherfucking Bungie's Destiny. You know what I'm saying? That's the only place to play both.
People don't realize this. That like Bungie, the Bungie that made Halo, that you feel like they're screwing you over, they're at 343. Okay.
Yeah.
Most of those people stayed at 343.
They stayed with Mike. They stayed with Right. But I think only people that are not. I think the how you say the founder members of Bungie.
Right.
went it over. But yeah, people don't understand this too, though. Microsoft owns, like we didn't know that Sony owned a lot of stock inside Square Enix. Microsoft owns a lot of stock or whatever fuck inside of Bungie still. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, it was part of the agreement.
Yeah, but and I don't know. I think Don Matrick he turned it down, but Destiny was supposed to be an Xbox One exclusive.
Yeah, they have. You know what?
So.
Yeah, you know what? Like if you look at the deal that Microsoft and Bungie had in order for Bungie to become independent, Microsoft had first refusal of any game that Bungie made. So
hey, you know what? You're talking about Destiny. I don't think anybody caught on to this. You know when Microsoft was teasing that white Xbox One that was just given out to the people that worked on the Xbox One, right? Remember when everybody said Xbox One? Then all of a sudden there was this white PS4 with Destiny. You know?
Yeah. So they copied.
I don't know. I'm just saying it was.
I don't know. But you know.
Do a bundle, do a bundle with the Halo collection with a white with a white Xbox One because that was.
But I'm just being. I don't want to. I had enough white. 360. The white doesn't stay clean. Yeah, I like the black. A different color, of course, would be cool. But I think if Microsoft was to do a bundle, I don't know if they're gonna do a bundle with the Halo. Maybe we should make that motherfucker green or something or something.
Nah, I don't want no green. Blue or red, man. That'd be something.
Microsoft, that's not their color. Red. Jesus.
Yeah, blue or something.
Well, if they're gonna do something Halo related, make it greenish or something like Halo colors. Like put Halo decals on it. Like, don't you guys remember how the Halo 4 and Halo Reach 360s look? Those things were awesome.
The Halo 4 one in particular was really.
Oh my gosh, there was a couple Gears of War ones as well that were fucking fantastic. Like if you were like a 360 collector that collected the variants, you had so many awesome ones to like choose from. I think that they did a real good job with those. I mean, you know
with this Bungie thing, Zephyrnik, I had looked at a video of his. He had a good point on the Destiny thing where he said that it's new to the PlayStation, so it needed to be, promoted that way because that's a new game coming to PlayStation. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know why everybody will get in their feelings when they launching in a new console and they're trying to get the support of those gamers. You know what I'm saying? As much as they can by just launching it. By promoting it the way they're promoting it over there. You know what I'm saying? They already have. We already know. You know what I'm saying? Pretty much what Bungie can do. You know what I'm saying? Not only that, Bungie already know what Xbox Live is, all the ins and outs of Xbox. Totally. They don't know the ins and outs about the PlayStation, you know what I'm saying, and the PSN. That's a new thing, that's a new territory for them, you know what I'm saying, to operate in. So they got to learn the PSN network. So by them getting the beta and all that little stuff first and everything like that, it's testing. You know what I'm saying? They're trying to tap into that market. They're trying to figure out how the ins and outs of that machine. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it's new. And that's just how I look at it, man. I agree with Zephyrnik on that.
Cool.
Hey, were you guys the only ones? I mean, look, we all watched E3. Both conferences focused heavy on multi-platform games. Like when I watched Sony's, I mean, aside from the really boring stuff, I remember thinking, hey, that's a game that I can buy on Xbox One. You know what I mean? It was like that's how I looked at it. Like Sony's conference was basically a little mini conference of games that like Batman I'm gonna buy on Xbox One, Destiny, Xbox One. It was like that's how I looked at it anyway. It was like it is weird to see Sony adopt almost like what Microsoft did last generation. And use it and try to use that, which Microsoft didn't. Yeah, Microsoft didn't need a lot of exclusives at the tail end because people, if you were buying, it's hard to say because a lot of people still bought Call of Duty on PlayStation as well. So, I mean, even though it was marketed heavily, if it sold 12 million on Xbox, it sold 9 or 10 on PlayStation. So, it's really hard to say if any of that stuff actually works. What I do know is a lot of people, even last gen, would prefer, especially towards the end of the gen, would prefer those AAA multi-platform games were a lot better than some of the exclusives, in my opinion.
I when you said that, I always think about that. Like people scream about these exclusives and how good they are, and there are really good exclusives. But most of the gen, we're playing these great third-party games, aren't we? Mm-hmm. Like, I mean, you talk about Grand Theft Auto 5, right? The 360 was less powerful than the PS3, right? But at the end of the generation, a game like Grand Theft Auto 5 was able to run on both platforms, and that game it's amazing that it was able to run on that old gen platform. Or a game like Skyrim. Like, I'd much rather play an open world game like Skyrim. To me, that's amazing, a third party game like that, you know? So third-party games can be just as great as these great-looking first-party titles. Sometimes the third parties make better-looking games than the first-party games.
Yeah, I mean, I think the best-looking game last generation was probably Rage. I don't know if you guys played that, but just from a graphical standpoint, that was, that's because id Software knows what the hell they're doing, but it takes them forever to do it.
Yeah, exactly.
John Carmack, Rage.
Yeah, John Carmack.
That game sucked dick, but it was very pretty.
Oh, dude, that's like, if you want to look at a pretty game, there you go, man. That or Crysis 3 or Halo 4. I thought Halo 4 actually looked fucking phenomenal.
You know what was nice about Halo 4 was the cutscenes. They were very cinematic.
Yeah.
Well, it's gonna be in 1080p.
All right.
Let's all forget about it.
Hey, do you have any questions? Anybody ask anything? I'm sorry, I had mic trouble. I got it together now, so I missed about 5 minutes. Do we have
hold on, we probably got some questions. Hold on.
What the hell was you guys talking about? I was fixing my mic. I said, hold on. What the hell were you guys talking about?
We were talking about Destiny. And,
well, I'm sorry. Let me add my 2 cents. And the reason why I guess Microsoft, and I'm being, I get a lot of shit tweeted to me and stuff, my inbox. The reason why Microsoft fans probably feel slighted because what's happening is that Sony is advertising, they're putting all the advertisement dollars behind Destiny, you know what I mean? And it looks like it's coming off as it being a PlayStation exclusive, same way, when you think, and it's not exclusive, but when you think of Call of Duty, you think of Xbox, you know what I mean? And that's what Sony wants. When you think of Destiny, you think of PlayStation. Right. And they're hoping that game to be used. They want Destiny to be to the PlayStation as Call of Duty is the Xbox. This is what they want. So a lot of, when you think of Bungie, you don't know the bad stuff. You don't know a lot of those guys stayed behind, you know what I mean? So when you think of Bungie, you think of, you think of Halo, you think of that whole team going over. So a lot of them feel, they even talk about, people saying there's petitions or whatever to boycott Destiny. Not, several Xbox guys are talking about putting together and banning and not buying, Destiny.
Crazy. That's crazy.
If you look at the DLC, I never heard about DLC being a year. That's a little extreme there for those who buy.
That was just a rumor. It's not confirmed that it's going to be a year.
Well, it was according to Amazon. It was something on Amazon. You can buy the DLC or something, whatever. I think they came, from Amazon.
I mean, that costs money, right? I mean, Sony's going to have to pay for that to get it for a year.
Yeah, but like I said in the day, let's just first hope the game ain't shit, before we start, doing, screaming it's the second coming, Because, your guys didn't care for Halo Reach. That's Bungie. A lot of people didn't like Halo. I like Halo Reach, though. A lot of people didn't like Halo ODST. I like it. I didn't know. I didn't like Halo ODST. That's my least favorite out of all the Halo franchises. You know what I mean? But like I said, we'll see, man. We'll see. Is the beta coming to the Xbox One also?
Yeah, the beta is going to be on the Xbox One like 3 or 4 days after it's on the PlayStation 4. I mean,
so what's this beta they were playing now? That wasn't on the.
That was the alpha.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not even gonna. That's not even. And I watched some streams of that because I was a little bit torn myself. I'm like, you haven't heard much about what this game is. Now they're basically coming out and saying it's an MMO type of game. You know what I mean? Like before they were avoiding calling it that, but let's be honest, it's like an MMO.
It is an MMO.
It's an MMO shooter, yeah.
Online only.
You can play a single player game. It's just that I think that from what I was reading,
didn't know they were. I didn't know they were.
You can play single player, but then there's regions that you get into, and if you choose to go into these regions, that's when it opens up and you can do quests with these people. But it's
always online. You have to be online, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is something that Sony fans didn't like. Remember?
Yeah, but again, I just think who the fuck buys it next, especially at launch.
I agree with that, but hey, wouldn't the ultimate hypocrisy be if Destiny comes out and sells like a shit ton on PlayStation consoles after all the shit talking PlayStation fans did on Bungie and Halo, and now they're like,
but you got to see right now. You can tell right now the trend. Right now, PlayStation fans are saying that Bungie is the second coming. Because it's on their console choice right now.
Yeah.
You know, so Bungie's okay with them. You know what I mean? And maybe not to the extent maybe some Xbox fans felt the same way about Insomniac. Maybe not to the extent that's going on now on the PlayStation. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know, I didn't. How you say? I don't. And again, I'm gonna say this. I don't care for platforms. So even if Insomniac, just say I know it can't, but just say they would have bring Ratchet and Clank to the Xbox One, I wouldn't buy it because I don't care for those type of games. But you know, I think it's the same thing, but not to the extent, you know, what Xbox fans are kind of thumbing, sticking their finger up to Sony fans because Insomniac's making that game for the Xbox One now.
Right.
What I don't understand, you know, if you're a gamer, this is my thing. If you're a gamer, right? Like I am a gamer, and I do prefer the Xbox One, but I wouldn't deny myself a great game if I wanted to play it just because it's on another platform. That's the craziest. To me, that's the craziest shit of all crazy shit there. You know what I mean?
You know what's funny too. I see a lot of this now. I see that, you know, Destiny is multi-platform, but it's really not multi-platform for some reason. And
What?
I don't know. It's people talking like, you know, well, Destiny is it's multi-platform, but it's going to be so much better. So don't even buy it on the Xbox One. Which is fine. But you see, like Sunset Overdrive, right? Sunset Overdrive isn't exclusive, but people are saying, well, we're going to get Sunset Overdrive 2 anyway. So we'll just.
That's no. I gotta call my man. What's my boy? I gotta call Dewey on that one. That's Dewey when his shit, man. Talking about the second one can possibly come. That game is not. Yeah, that game. No, that game is not coming to the to PlayStation at all. I'm not saying that Insomniac will never make games for Sony again. I'm not saying that, but you won't see in Sunset Overdrive on any other platform.
Well, but Insomniac owns the IP. Remember, they went to Microsoft.
Yeah, but look at this. Microsoft isn't stupid. Much like Alan Wake is owned by Remedy, but nobody else can publish that without Microsoft permission. They own publishing rights to 3 games.
Yeah. So,
they own the publishing rights to Sunset Overdrive?
I would assume, we don't know, but I would assume that Microsoft isn't stupid. They're not going to be like, okay,
you're going to take this and leave.
Feel free to, we're going to pay to publish this and promote it, and then you're going to put the second one out on these other consoles. You know what I mean? I don't know if that's going to be the case. I think there's probably some kind of deal in place, and Insomniac seems like they're cool with Microsoft. You know what I mean? They like riding in style. I mean, Microsoft has helped them tremendously so far. You know, I mean, I see more hype for this game than I ever saw for any Ratchet. The last Ratchet and Clank game for PS3 got no advertising by Sony, got no nothing. I mean, that was a shame.
That was a shame.
Yeah, it's like, here it is. You know, same thing with, I'll check this out. Resistance 3, great game on the PlayStation 3, probably the best Resistance game, good shooter. Sony did absolutely no advertising for that. Their advertising for that was a fucking Kevin Butler commercial with the PlayStation Move. You never saw actual footage of the game. It was Kevin Butler acting stupid with a PlayStation Move and that little plastic gun that attaches to it.
That was actually a good franchise too. That was pretty.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It was a pretty good.
Resistance Full of Man.
Oh, it didn't sell well.
It didn't. The third one got tanked because Sony didn't promote it at all.
You know what? The problem was, I think, with Sony shooters, they always build them to be Halo killer. That's the problem. Oh, this right here this is they're putting out in direct competition of Halo. And
Killzone is the Halo. Hey guys, Haze. Now that's the real Halo killer.
Who the fuck made Haze? Who was the developer for that game?
Free Radical, and now they're out of business. Now they're actually Crytek, Germany or something.
Yeah, that
Crytek
game,
England.
That game was dog shit anyway, though. But okay. Well, all right. What else? You want to answer a few questions, or we got going on?
Yeah, let's go ahead and see if people are going to ask.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching live with us now, appreciate it. If you have any questions you want us to do a circle jerk about, just let them fly now, okay?
Berserker says, Sunset Overdrive, it's more of a comment, Sunset Overdrive will be on PC after 6 months of Xbox One release. Berserker,
great.
Insomniac Games has never released a game on PC to my knowledge, so I don't know that.
It's not a console.
And if it is, then play it on the PC and enjoy it. Great.
Yeah, I'm just saying, but even like I said again, the PC is not a console. Microsoft is not, and again, for the last umpteen thousand times, Microsoft is not in competition with PC. Every gaming rig that 99.9% of these gaming rigs have Windows. You see, you know what? I'm a slight Microsoft. I'm gonna get, so the fuck what? You still put money in Microsoft's pocket, but that's not their competition. Their competition is Sony and Nintendo. I mean, I'm just being real. So I don't know why you're trying to say the PC is like, when PC will have an E3 presence. that's when there will be a competition, direct competition with Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo. You know what I mean? I'm just being real. You know, who the fuck would be the front man for PC? Was it
Gabe Newell?
Yeah, I'm just being real. You know, and Gabe Newell was not even making hardware. You know, so. That's not, and I'm not hating it. It's not. That's not Microsoft's competition.
I mean, just great. Buy it and play it. Great.
Shit,
yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, it's the same with PlayStation. They got certain games that's over
Yeah,
there.
but do you think? Well, being real, do you think that what's that shit? DC Ultimate Universe. What do you call that? Or you know, whatever for the DC. Yeah. Do you not consider that a PlayStation exclusive?
Yeah. I do. Even though it's on PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, and PC, it's still a fucking PlayStation exclusive.
Yeah, like goddamn, you know, like they kill me with that shit. It's the dumbest shit ever. But
they're not in the console race. It's not.
There's nothing in the room. They don't. You know what I mean? Like just being real.
Then we'll just switch it up and say console exclusive. Who gives a shit? You know what I'm saying? Whatever. We all know PlayStation fans, boys, all have fucking $1,200 rigs anyway. So all right. Let's see. Andy Cod says, I just redeemed the beta key for Destiny. Bungie tweeting out about the PlayStation beta with no mention at Xbox at all. Yeah, we kind of went over this before. They're not allowed to talk about that. It's some kind of deal that Activision has, because Bungie actually did tweet out about the beta one time, and they had to quickly delete it. Activision, I guess, was like, hey, you can't do that. Sony is obviously paying very well. They want to, and I believe, you know, I'm not really a conspiracy guy, but Sony wants to get the 360 gamers to buy PS4s. They're going to say, hey, we got this Bungie-made game. It's going to play great. Here's your Halo. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people think it is exclusive. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, the best thing I would say is just get over that shit. Don't be like Sony fans are. Fucking buy the game. It looks good. You know.
I got a question for you, Worry. It says here, this is Tony Sniff. He said, question to Worry Wood. Would you, it says guy, I guess, would you buy GTA 5 on the Xbox One, even if it's 720p and 1080p on the PlayStation 4?
I'm not going to buy it on either because I played it last gen.
Oh, okay.
But if it was, but I'm assuming he wants to know
if you didn't.
Well, I mean, he already knows. Most people know the answer to this. I'm not a big resolution nut. If I was, I would play on PC. But I bought Watch Dogs on the Xbox One and liked it, and it was $792, right?
Okay.
No, it output at 1080p, bro.
Well, it was upscaled. Yeah, it was upscaled to 1080p.
Upscaled.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Right, I'll be answering your question.
But if it's in 1080p on the PlayStation 4, then that's a victory. Enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't get it. It's questions, man. Like, great.
Yeah. Hey, yo, shout out to White Boy Thor. He said, "Oh shit, the white boys are fighting, no problems." He said,
White Boy Thor.
He said, "Oh shit, the two white boys are fighting, no problem. They probably won't be able to hit each other with a shot. They miss every shot." Oh man.
When the hell were we fighting?
You want a little spat you had, man. You know, little shit. I forgot what I was over. Yeah. But anyway, nothing major. Okay, I got it now. Hey, Xbox, shout out to Xbox 448. He said, I got a question. When are you guys going to race me in Forza 5? I suck at Forza. I suck at sim races, so no. If you want to race me, I'll race you with, what's that shit? Forza Horizon 2. I'm on that type of racer. I suck at simulation racers.
We gotta pick 4 people and play them in the 8-player co-op Sunset Overdrive. That would be great.
Yeah. You know what? Yeah, that's what we should do. That's what we should do. For the show. The people that they fuck with us every week. You know what I mean? Not saying we're rock stars or anything like that, but it's 4 of us, and maybe we may have a what do you call it? Like a contest or something.
Yeah.
4 other people we can live and they can join in us on the co-op and live stream it or something. We can maybe find a way how to do that or something. Not saying it's a privilege or honor to game with us, but I think that'd be.
A lot of people ask that though. They're like, "Hey, can we game with you or whatever?" You know what I'm saying? Like, So apparently, I mean.
You know what though? But as soon as we get on, they're gonna be like, "Crap gamer, 1080p, you suck."
They do be doing that, man.
I honestly
you didn't have to go to that bar show in your video.
I get very little hate on Xbox One messages. I get like at least 5 or 10 messages on Xbox One a day, and it's never usually hate. It's always like rack them up or something like that. You know what I mean? So, hey, here's a pretty good question by Rowdy Crow. He says there's a rumor that Microsoft can't buy Capcom because it's a Japanese company, which I already know that's not true. But go ahead and explain a little bit better, Zaire, because I know you.
Well, I'm sorry. The Japanese bylaw, like they have something in place that I guess to protect Japanese businesses that if they can't be bought out. But basically, Microsoft can buy Capcom. You know what I mean? If they were to buy them, they will have to bring on their entire staff. They can't fire any. They can't replace the people in charge with their own people, something like that. But they can buy them. You know what I mean? There's a loop around them. You know what I mean? But they had that in place for if they would be taken over and let the people go. Like Iwata, I'm sorry. If Microsoft was to buy Nintendo, they would have to keep all the Nintendo key figures intact. You know what I mean? If they were to buy them, and the same thing with Capcom. But they can buy them. You know what I mean?
It's not a complete buyout. What the deal is? There's 51% of Capcom that's just open shares, right? Mm-hmm. So technically they could buy shares, and they would have majority shares. But I don't think that would. It'd be hard saying what they could do with 51%. I mean,
yeah, you know what I was going to say is let's say they bought, and they're not going to, but let's say they bought all 51% of those shares, right? The control is still at Capcom, so Capcom can still release games on PlayStation platforms. They can even release them exclusively. The difference is that a lot of the profit would just go to Microsoft. You know?
Well, I think there could be something about that because Square Enix had a deal with Sony, and the Kingdom Hearts games stayed exclusive up until when they got rid of all the shares or whatever. So I think that there is some kind of deal where if Microsoft were to buy 51%, they would probably make a deal to where they would keep Dead Rising exclusive, maybe one or two other things or whatever.
I mean, if they can have I'm just saying, fuck it. They can have the games being exclusive to the platform. I wouldn't even bother with it. You know what I mean?
Hey, somebody in the Bang Bang group or one of these Facebook groups that I'm in posted a picture that said Dead Rising 4. They said Capcom tweeted this and then deleted it. Did you guys hear anything about that?
No, I was probably fucking somebody's grandmother. When did it
go? 4 or what?
It was like yesterday. It just said It's just a picture that says Dead Rising 4.
No, I was definitely fucking somebody's grandmother yesterday. No, I missed it. What time was that?
Do you really think that they're going to buy Capcom, though? I don't think so.
If they can buy them and their games be exclusive to the platform, that would be huge. You know what I mean? Like, I'm being real.
I think it depends.
That's going for the throat. Just imagine, again, if only fucking Street Fighter games are exclusive to the Xbox. You know how huge that would be? Some of them having a dent in Japan, Japan are big on their fighters. That would be huge, bro. Like, that would, like, Jesus Christ, I think we don't know the legal stance, but, we know what that entails, but if they can have the games exclusive, why the fuck not? They can afford to do it.
I think that there's two reasons why Microsoft could do this. One would be to be a more of a defensive move to prevent both either Nintendo or especially Sony from doing that.
Yes.
Two would be to secure some IPs that the Japanese really like, and the rest, not just the Japanese, but the rest of the world. Like Resident Evil and some of these games are really well thought of. So depending on what the specifics are and what they would be able to have exclusive or not exclusive or whatever, like, maybe they could do a Street Fighter Killer Instinct crossover or something. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, okay. Well, shit.
We got all kinds of favorite fucking questions now rolling in, man.
Shoot them.
Okay. Let's see. Oh, somebody talking about. I'm not even gonna fucking mention that fucking Earthworm Jim looking fucker. Let's see.
You talking about Turtle? Dude looks like a Ninja Turtle. I'm gonna leave that one alone.
God damn it, man! There's like a lot of kind of bullshit ones. Oh, okay, hold on.
Somebody needs to debate, but I didn't destroy that cocksucker already. Go on my channel, Fast Gaming HD, watching live. You want to see some entertainment? I didn't really expose that motherfucker.
Oh, Daniel McGee says, "Are you guys excited for the Halo collection?"
Oh yeah.
Yeah. There's a bear shit in the woods and wipe his ass with a rabbit. Yeah.
I got. I recently went up to GameStop and I pre-ordered all this shit.
Do they have a collector's edition?
They didn't say. They said if they do, then I could switch it over to the collector's edition if that happens. You know, because I also said the same thing about Forza Horizon or Sunset Overdrive. If they're going to do collector's editions of those, that I would want to switch over to collector's editions. And
wait.
Hey, hold on, man. Hey, somebody sent the link saying that Xbox One would support 4K.
Yes, that's yeah. They talking about my man Stu Bader. Yeah,
as well as 3D.
yeah. That's been. They said that in the beginning. That's why the Xbox One came with the
It's got a 4K. It's got a 4K rated Ethernet cable. Yeah.
I'm sitting here reading, and I think it's going to be upscaled to 4K.
Yeah. It'll be upscale.
It'll be upscaled. Okay, it won't be native, but that's still cool.
Yeah. But listen.
Now we're gonna have people arguing over: would you buy a 3K version of a game or a 4K version of a game?
Wait
a minute. PC put out 4K.
Yeah, listen, check it out. I got a question. I got a question, right? It's a good question, and I'm gonna ask you guys. Now this guy usually Solid Fingers. He usually trolls me because he caught me with my dick down his grandmother's throat. But Solid Fingers 11. He said, if Nintendo's buy Capcom, do you think the Wii will become more of a threat to the Xbox One than PlayStation 4?
Yes.
You think so?
I don't think it'll become more of a threat to the Xbox One. I think it'll become more of a threat to both consoles.
I don't think it'll be a threat because
especially in Japan.
Maybe in Japan, but you know, Nintendo has underpowered hardware and no online infrastructure.
Well, I mean, hold on. If they're planning for the future, then
maybe in the future, maybe the next console.
So next console, I think that'd be a lot.
Dude, but they would have to get decent online. Their online isn't even as good as the PlayStation 2's online was.
But here's the
thing. At least you had USB headset chat. You know what I'm saying?
But listen, check it out. Now here's the thing. Now, and I'm glad he said it because I was gonna do a video on this, but I'm gonna shoot my load there. I would rather Sony buy Capcom than Nintendo. Why? Because I feel that hearing this, you have the Wii U, and Nintendo already said that the Wii U is not going away at least 2017. We have at least 2 more years for this thing. To me, they will hold Capcom back. The Wii U is not even powerful to run their next generation engine. So I wouldn't want to, if anybody were to buy it, I would rather honestly Sony buy it, even though I'm more of an Xbox guy, I'm still a gamer. But Nintendo will fuck that company up. I understand you'll see what Microsoft or Rare. I don't care for platforms. Fuck all that. Rare's working on some great things right now, so word around, you know what I mean? But anyway.
I did a video on that. Phil Harrison, just real quick, said that they're working on multiple Xbox One titles.
Yeah, you know what I mean? But would you want to see Nintendo buy Capcom, just being real?
No.
How about you, Worry?
I don't think Microsoft has a chance in hell of buying Capcom just because they're an American company.
No, money talks, bullshit walks.
As far as I mean, I get your point. Like Sony, could give them more power to make games, their titles look better and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But I think a lot of the Capcom games, like Mega Man and all that stuff, would do much better on Wii U.
Oh, but no, fuck all that. What I'm saying is, though, bro, we want to see a great Resident Evil, and Nintendo's hardware can't do that.
Yeah, that's what I do agree. If they went to PlayStation, they would probably give them a lot more power.
Yeah, but not even that.
If we looking for right now, though, then you're right.
But here's the thing.
If you're looking for the future, I'll look at that like how PlayStation did the Azure, the little cloud thing. Okay. I look at that as a buy like that for Nintendo.
But listen,
they got whatever they little servers.
But listen,
but I look at it for the future. You know what I'm saying?
What you're missing, and I think all you guys are missing. I understand, this problem, but fuck all that. What about Nintendo's policy? How are you going to have Street Fighter? You can't even talk to each other.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'd be so worried about their policies and shit, of that nature, and come on, man. You look at fucking Mario Kart 8. They baked the title to the date. You only can talk in the lobby. You can't talk during the game. Like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like, I will be definitely afraid of Nintendo, not because of competition, and it's because of Nintendo's ways, and secondly, their fucking anemic hardware. So yes, you know what I mean. So,
Next question.
Let's Let's see. Oh, Zebra Turtle, who usually trolls the hell out of us, says.
Who is this?
Zebra Turtle. He says, "Crap, this one's for you. Since you know everything about Xbox One, I'm considering buying an Xbox One if they bundle in Master Chief Collection. Do you think it'll happen?" I absolutely think it'll happen because they want people to buy a bundle with the collection, get people excited for Halo 5. That game's got a lot riding on it.
Bundle though, I must think. I mean, $60 going to sway you or not? If the game is there, I mean, it would be smart for Microsoft to bundle it, but even if they don't. If you want the Master Chief Collection, it's only $60 up. Don't deny yourself of playing it. Deny yourself the chance of playing it if they don't bundle it. With
how much would a bundle be? I mean, if it's the Xbox One's $400 and the game's $60, what are they going to do? Like
probably $450 or so, but it could be a different color. Or...
I'm just saying if they really do, I would put it with the Kinect version for $500. You know what I mean? And if they do, but if they don't, like if you want to play the game, which is going to be kick-ass, 100 fucking multiplayer maps. Like that game is going to scream fucking. That game is going to that game right there may give fucking Call of Duty a chance for the online. They do this. The online records and shit during the weekend. Whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
Like what game plays most online.
That's going to be co-op. I can't wait to do the co-op.
Yeah, me too. We can run Halo 4.
Yeah.
Was it 4 people co-op? Was it 4? They did 8. It's still 4, right?
I'm not sure.
Yeah. We got a lot of games to co-op with each other this fucking holiday season, man. Hope we're still speaking when Falls Out, like the Temptations or something, and we're all pretty cool with each other. You know what I mean? Hey, listen, I say right now, let's Crap don't come up with his own podcast.
Yeah, hey, did you guys hear? Once I hit 6,000 subs, I'm gone.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Crap, don't pull up.
Hey, he gonna do us like what's my man Flash from the Five Heartbeats?
Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah, shit, this man was Crap can come on this show like I'm dropping my solo album.
I'm starting my solo album.
Growing at the top. He's dropping a solo album. Flash is growing at the top. God,
believe it or not, man, people already flip out like we're a band. They're like, man, Crap's doing a podcast with that Mooch guy. Holy crap, Ori, you're being replaced.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like I said, it's gonna be. I mean, again, like I said, I get along with these guys here, even with John. You know what I mean? I wish that guy nothing but the best, but we all have a pretty good rapport with each other. You know what I mean? I will say this for everyone here. You know what I mean? If we ever have a problem, we can talk about it off there. You know, I don't believe in airing. I'm not really with that shit here, but if everybody can keep their egos intact, you know what I mean? We should be doing this shit forever. Cool with these dudes here, man. But yeah, shit, man. Done, man. Well, we got any more questions? We can do about 5 questions. We can send it off until next week.
Let's see. Okay, here's a good one from Omagazio.
Shout out, little bro. Shout out to him.
He says, "Are you all upset that cross-generation games are holding back games like Mortal Kombat?" Dying Light, Dragon Age.
Yes. Because you heard what Bungie said about the reason why they couldn't get the game to 1080p 60 frames a second because they're making it on 4 platforms: PS3, PS4, Xbox One, Xbox 360. That's 4 fucking games, 4 different groups making hell yeah. Current, they're keeping, they're holding this next generation back. I'm just being real. Yeah. That's my honest opinion. I'm not saying that just because people can't afford to buy a next generation console yet. I'm not hating on them, but listen, be the Microsoft or something, somebody got to put their foot down. But it's the really third party, you know what I mean? But if you want people to, go out and buy a next generation console, you have to give them a reason. If I can still buy, just say, Destiny on current gen, you know what I mean? And because people, until they get the console in their hand, you can't tell by looking at these videos on YouTube. It's being real right there. They don't see the big, what's the reason for me to get the next generation console. The Xbox One and the people don't look that way with YouTube. They're just being real. They don't. You don't really see it until you get that motherfucker inside your house. Like, God, this motherfucker prettier than the motherfucker. If they're not giving them a reason to go out and buy their next generation console, they're not going to do it,
Yeah. I agree with that. I think it's holding them back, but Phil Spencer, I was reading his interview he did post E3, and he said that they owe it to 85 million Xbox 360 owners to still support that at this time. So,
2015 we should be like, come on, next year E3 2015, We should be done with this cross-gen shit.
I got a pretty good question from my boy Demon Wolf. Shout out to him. He's a good follower on Twitter and stuff. This dude, right, big Gears fan, bought into some of Sony's propaganda, bought a PS4, right?
Mm-hmm.
He used his PS4 3 times, and on the third time it broke.
Oh.
Like, yeah, broke. So I think he's, like, done with the PS4 now. He's like, he bought a Wii U. So apparently he's been having a lot more fun with that than he ever did the PS4. But he says, by the end of this generation, what are your predictions for both consoles, the Xbox One and PS4?
My predictions are that they're not going to be as successful as the PS3 and 360 was. I don't see the one I'm selling 80 million units because they already said that this generation is not going to last as long as last generation did. So I think they both will be successful, but they're not going to sell 80 million units plus. You know what I mean?
I agree. I would say Xbox One. I'm going to say because I think this is going to be a shorter generation too. I think you're going to have like five and a half years. I think you probably got about 5 years left on the new ones. So I would say maybe somewhere between 53 million for Xbox One, probably 58 million for PS4.
Yeah, well,
I mean, at the end of the day, you're going to say both these consoles were successful, just like last gen. You know, what would you say? I mean, as far as from units sold, they all three were very successful. You can't really dog on any of them.
Yeah.
I mean, you can from a standpoint of like I could sit there and nitpick all day and say Sony lost billions and billions on the PS3 and lost a bunch of market share and shit. Yeah, so in that aspect, but I'm just saying as far as units sold, they did okay. You know, they all did fine as far as units sold.
And, yeah, I mean the Wii was the big winner.
Yeah, 100 million. Although that really started off strong, and then once people started getting HD TVs and shit.
Well, the Wii feels without once the Kinect took off. Just being real, just honestly, just speaking, the Wii, once the Kinect and Move came out, the Wii has been the last place in sales since then. You know.
Yeah, I think the PS4 will probably have a 10 or 15 million lead by the end.
Mm-hmm.
So
now, okay, let me ask you a question, Warren.
Like 50, 65, or maybe 50.
Okay, now let me ask you a question. Now, check this out. Now, again, next generation, do you think Microsoft will wait as long as they did to launch their console in other regions?
Well, if there's a next generation, which for anybody, which I'm sure there will be, but let's just
they have work right now on the next consoles.
I think that Microsoft gets the message now. I think that, and I'm sure Sony too. I think you're going to see that leap that everybody thought was going to be. From last gen to this gen, I think you're going to see like a ridiculous consoles on the market. But you know what's strange though is these not to like stir up the PC guys, but these consoles keep getting closer and closer to basically PCs in a box, don't they?
Oh yeah, again, with the inclusion of x86 architecture,
yeah.
You know what I mean, that's why, you know what I mean, that was a blessing for developers. It really was, because they can have one team do the PC version and, same thing.
See, for me, it's just the ease of plug and play with console. That's what I like.
Yeah, but that's why people don't understand. It's not more. That's why all your games have to be installed now before you play them. Think about when you run an app on your PlayStation, on your PC, you have to install it right before you run it. And it's the same thing with these next generation consoles, because the x86, they are more and more like.
Hey, y'all. We was a little wrong with the upscale. They say they support native 4K as well as.
There's supposed to be some games that'll support native, and I think that's the reason why they got such a good Henna 2 upscaler. It's really good.
Yeah, but how could they support 4K native if they're not getting 1080p native?
Because I think it depends on the game.
Yeah, that's that. Hey, I wanted to use this word. That's that malarkey.
Worry. Again, listen, Worry, check it out. It's not that they're not. It's that, if just being real, if a developer or publisher were to take advantage of all the things that the Xbox One can do before the tower, they're not. These launch games again, even Rise. I didn't even notice. Even Rise is only running on one core. You know what I mean? So I don't expect to see any AAA fucking games in 4K, but maybe like a Max Curse with Brotherhood, You know, like an arcade game or something. I can see it happening. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? But it goes, like I said, they would have built a game from the ground up just for the Xbox One. It takes advantage of all that stuff. It's expensive, but you know what I mean? I don't think Microsoft is being liars. You know what I mean? You know, they don't have that track record.
I just don't, 4K. I mean, at what point? I mean, your human eye is not going to see 4K resolution.
No, that's enough. Yeah, I think I told you, man. I actually probably next weekend, if not the weekend of the next, I'm gonna buy me a 4K. My uncle has one, bro. Those fucking things, Jesus, those movies, my God. I will stop fucking grannies. I will stop fucking grannies. I'm telling you right now, I will stop. Put my special grandmas to the side. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
but that's amazing.
Stop. When do we stop? I mean,
we're not going to stop. Technology. Listen, technology is always moving. It's progressing. It's always moving forward. Right now, we're talking about 8K resolution, bro. I remember reading an article in the year 2000. I bullshit you not. Samsung had something called Ultra HD or some shit. It gave the people motion sickness. Yeah. You know what I mean? If you think about it, in 2000, we weren't really looking at things in 720p. They showed it in Taiwan or some shit like that, and they gave the people actual motion sickness, man. You know, so it is what it is, man.
Oh, well.
All right, we have any more questions?
Yeah, let's see here. We have a lot of love for Warrior. They think you're a big PlayStation fan.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a game fan, man.
Let's see here. Blah blah blah. Jesus.
Anything?
Hold on.
Questions or?
There's a lot of hate. A lot of people. Oh, somebody wants to know if Next Gen would fight somebody named BG.
Would I fight him? Yeah, I'll break that motherfucking jaw. I'll break his motherfucking jaw. I'm on the record right now. Can't nobody in the YouTube community beat me. This is my Hulk Hogan shit right here. Can't nobody in the YouTube community beat me. Ooh yeah. Anything? Oh wait, I'm sorry. I got a lot of questions. I gotta I ain't gonna lock them. Hold up.
Unlock some of them damn questions.
Yeah, I gotta approve them. Hold on. I got a lot in here in the box. Jesus, like 60 of them motherfuckers. Hold on, I can't answer all these more questions. Okay, I got a question from Lace Chucks. As I'm approving, which would you consider a hardcore gaming console as of now, the Xbox One or the PlayStation 4, or why?
Which would you consider a what?
The more of a hardcore console.
I don't think either right now could be considered hardcore. Do you?
I think the Xbox One is more the underground. Yeah, I think you know what? It reminds me a little bit of the original Xbox in the fact that it's not as mainstream as the PlayStation right now again. And that's, I think, a lot of the hardcore gamers are digging that kind of aspect, and that's where like some of these games are. Like if you look at some like Phil Spencer in this interview that I'm talking about, and I'll link you guys to it later, but he goes on and says he doesn't want his first-party studios doing stuff or like the exclusives doing stuff that third-party multiplats do. He wants unique stuff. Like Sunset Overdrive is pretty unique. That's the kind of stuff that he likes. So I think that's what hardcore gamers like too. You know what I mean? They want those unique type experiences, and I believe that the Xbox One is a little bit better than that. I also think that, now don't hate me on this, but a lot of the casual and free-to-play stuff is there to draw in casual gamers. You know, I think a lot of indies and stuff is very casual in my opinion.
Can I just say that when you ask people, like, don't worry about asking people not to hate you crap, it's not going to happen.
Oh, I know. They hate me. I'm like Microsoft.
You know what? That turns them up, bro, when you sit there. Would you guys still stop hating me? Oh, they're going to turn up on you, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't show some weakness. I don't care.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't care.
I mean, I don't know. Hardcore right now.
I don't care.
Oh, I would say the reason why I would say the Xbox One, and no pun intended, is because I'll play this and put this in a better. Last generation, I would consider the PlayStation 3 more of a hardcore gaming machine than the Xbox 360, because they had more unique exclusives. You know what I mean? That was just exclusive to the PlayStation brand. Now this generation, like I said, I would consider the Xbox One being more because they have more thus far. More exclusives, you know what I mean, different, you know, like you said, Sunset Overdrive is unique, nothing like that. D4, exclusively unique, nothing like that on the market. What else we got? You know, Fables, Legends. So we have, you know, and they have these great games that are coming out that are exclusive to the Xbox One. So I would, you know, give the nod to the Xbox One right now.
Yeah, we're not even a year in though for these consoles, you know.
Yeah, but I mean, but look at all the great games that's on our right that we know thus far for the Xbox One. You know what I mean? It's Fable Legends.
Hey, a lot of people are questioning this whole 4K thing. I don't know who this Reda Vootstruvuder is.
Yeah, well, I just put the article. Yeah, Stu Baver.
Yeah, he's basically talking about the ES RAM. Then there's 32 megabits on the Xbox One. He says 1080p only needs 8 megabits of this. 4K needs 32 megabits. So he's basically pointing out how it is possible to do 4K resolution. Yeah, it is. You know,
like I said, if you take and again, it's not that here's the big misconception. I'm gonna throw this thing. It's not that the Xbox One is not powerful enough to do 1080p. It's not the case. It's hey, right now with the older kits that they had, you know, I mean, they're not even taking advantage of the eSRAM and all the strong points of the Xbox One. Okay, they're not doing that. You know what I mean? Like if you had a prominent at Ubisoft, if that Watch Dogs was only on the Xbox One and they built it from the ground up, taking advantage of the Xbox One hardware, then I'm quite sure that game would have been 1080p or whatever the goddamn case may be. You know what I mean? None of these games use town resources, and I think the first game we're going to see, I think, is Fable Legends. You know what I mean? But like I said, the Xbox One can do a lot of tricks. You know what I mean? That the system can do to get all the power out for the system. You know what I mean? But like I said, we're going to see. You know, but like I said, I don't pay Microsoft as being liars. Now, if that came out of Sony's mouth, I'd be like, nah, I don't know about that, guys. I don't know. You know. Sony was talking 1080p, 60 frames a second last generation.
They were talking 120 fucking frames per second, 4D last generation. So,
you know,
and using plugging in dual HDMI cables for 2 different things or whatever. It was like crazy.
Sony was off the hook like that shit last year.
Hey, like Don Matrick was bad with his. We have a console for you that doesn't go online. It's called the 360. Theirs was if you want a PS3, you get fucking multiple jobs to afford one. You know, they literally said that. I mean, that
was my man.
Crazy.
He was their Don Matrix last generation. That guy, right? What's his name? Kaz
Harai is the guy now. Who was the hell was the
whatever the fuck his name? The grandfather of PlayStation. That motherfucker right there. Ken Kutaragi.
Yeah, crazy Ken.
Yeah, listen. Let me tell you some real shit here. When my first couple of videos, I wish I had kept this shit here, but my first couple of videos, when I was doing videos on YouTube, whatever, I probably had like 200 views. I might have like 40 subscribers. But there was an article, I forgot where I got this shit from, that this, like I said, Sony's been having money issues for a while. And Microsoft was in talks to buy the actual PlayStation brand. And it's that guy right there you just talked about. He didn't want to work for an American company. You know what I mean? So if it was to be a spinoff or someone was to buy the PlayStation brand, that's why he's not there anymore. They get that nigga that red PlayStation. They had a show. They gave him that red PlayStation 3, and he's not at the company anymore. You know what I mean? But they was talking about, this was last generation. No, last like 2 years ago. They was talking about buying the trying to buy the PlayStation brand itself, the whole PlayStation brand. You know, he didn't want to work for an American company. I remember that shit. I forgot where I read this article at, but RIP Zaire 2005. I was on that channel there. I don't have that channel anymore, but yeah, go figure. We got two last questions. We can say this off with a hoorah.
Go ahead.
It says, do you guys listen to any other podcasts out there? Bang bang. That's from D School McGee.
You want the truth? For me, I don't watch many other YouTubers. A lot of times, and I'm not just saying that. It's the guys on this truth. I mean, I support some. You will catch me watching a lot of the less unknown guys, smaller channels. You know what I mean? I'm saying do the root for the underdog. I don't watch a lot of the mainstream, channels.
I watch John Doe's podcast, and I watch.
And I'm being real. I don't really give a fuck what somebody got to say for hours. That's just me. And a lot of times you guys say, such and such made a video about you. I don't know. Like, I don't watch a lot of motherfuckers. I'm not subscribed to a lot of people. So
you know who I like? I like Wingy Gaming.
Who the fuck is Wingy Gaming? That's my man. That's my man. Yeah, my man from the UK. That's my dude. Yeah, like he's not saying he's known, but I watch somebody like him. You know what I mean? He's not with the bullshit.
Hey, I personally don't watch like other people's podcasts, but I watch like Next Gen's videos, Showstoppers videos, Warriors videos, Big Kahuna, Wingy Game and some of his stuff, Zephyrnix, some of his stuff, Zobi. I checked out a couple of his stuff.
Zobi, my guy.
Yeah,
He's
I checked
probably
out
my favorite YouTuber though. Zobi's probably my favorite YouTuber.
Yeah, so I check out some of the smaller ones too, but yeah, man, for like an hour and a half or whatever, I'm probably not gonna watch very many others. I'm like Zaire, man. Like a lot of people will message me like, "Hey, there's this video, they're talking about you," and I'm like, "Okay," you know what I mean? I don't really give a shit.
Next gen.
Yeah.
You know, Krat watches his own channel in the dark.
I am so compelling
He was
that
like,
I have to watch myself.
Oh my god, I was so on point. Oh my
Yeah, hey, listen, I will say this, and listen, because I know a lot. That podcast. What's that podcast, Worry, that you said watch it? Have good art.
Oh, I don't remember.
Yeah, I watched some of their stuff. You know what I mean? But I guess I'm not going to sit down and commit for an hour. Like prime example. Let's say this. This one show was the guy Modern War Negro. I heard he had like 300,000 subscribers or whatever. But they constantly talk about our podcast and all that shit inside there. I think it's funny as fuck. I have never watched not one video from this guy named Modern War Negro, and I think it's funny as hell. You know what I mean? I already had like 200,000 subscribers or some shit like that. But I heard they talk about our show all the time during their podcast. So I can give a fuck. Modern War Negro can suck this modern nigga's dick. How you like that one, huh? Bang! Bang! Boom! To the moon, Alice. To the moon.
Hey, who's Dr. Gaptooth? Because somebody wants to know when you're gonna.
Dr. Trey. Dr. Trey.
Okay, somebody wants to know when you're gonna debate him.
I did. If you guys go to my channel, I've debated Dr. Trey. I just shitted on him already. Listen, one thing about Zaire is, well, I didn't went at it with everybody, the who's in the fucking YouTube community. I destroyed Blackbuster Critic on the live debate. I've destroyed fucking Dr. Trey. And actually, I put it in this fucking video, guys. And I tweet it right now. Go follow me on Twitter, Zaire2005. I tweet right now the Blackbuster Critic and the Dr. Trey. Dr. Trey was really funny. I really fucking did him dirty. I slapped the shit out of Trey. That was easy.
Dude, I you know what? I actually listened to your video against Blackbuster Critic, and I was like, it was on the car ride home, so I just had the audio, and I was like, man, I was like, damn, Zaire's really knocking the fuck out of this guy, right? So I get home and look up the video, and it's like you had like thousands of thumbs down or something, or like hundreds of them, and I was like, how can people say you lost that shit? I was like, you were like all over this guy, you know what I mean? A lot of people always ask me to debate this guy. I'm like, dude, this guy has never come to me, asked me to debate. If he did, I would say, okay, what topics do you want? I mean, it'd be...
you know what it is, crap? You know what? I'm saying some real shit. And again, you know why? Everyone, and again, I'm not saying I'm perfect, but the reason why, again, a lot of people think they can own me in debate. I got so many fucking, I didn't even put them upload. Like, I destroyed RXL, everybody. You know why? Because they take the way that I talk. I'm always cursing them with my slang. But here's my thing. I've been gaming. Just because I talk with a whole bunch of four-letter words doesn't mean I'm not a gamer. I've been gaming. I'm 36 years old. But I never debate nobody over their opinion. Okay? I don't give a fuck about your opinion. I can't change that. You can tell me Sony's better than Microsoft. Fine. That's your opinion. Fine. But I deal with facts. Just say men lie, women lie, numbers don't lie. That's why, you know, he was doing it. I destroyed him with hard, cold facts. You know, Blackbuster. But, you know, not, you know, opinions of this, that, and the other. That guy went from talking about Sony 1E3 to fucking Nintendo. I said, God damn, Blackbuster. But, yeah, you know what I mean? I never debate over someone's opinion. You know, it is what it is. Everybody has an opinion. But I just do it with facts, numbers, you know what I mean? But, yeah, go figure.
Oh, hey, Jay Long has a question. He says, will you guys ever have any ponies on the podcast? I think last week we had Zobi, and he's not a pony, but he's a Sony fan.
Mm-hmm. Oh, well, here's the thing. Again, as far as who on the podcast, listen, I'll say right now, there's 4 members of this podcast. Sometimes we may have guests up there, but we're not trying to bring them on the show to have an argument. I'm not trying to argue with anybody, and, you know, and we ain't doing that. But if somebody like Zobi, I don't mind having Sony fans on I don't even want no straight up Xbox tools on the show. If someone can have can be.
I already have that job locked down, bitch.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, you just opened up the comment section to.
You know what I mean?
You don't want to be cool. You got Craft Gamer.
Yeah, you know what I mean. If someone likes fucking whatever, that's cool. They, you know, we can. It's okay. I would like to have a Nintendo dude. Like, what's that guy named Triforce Johnson? I would love to bring him on the show. Like, there wasn't nobody attacking personally. I'm not attacking nobody. You know?
Hey, we could always bring back Gamer Nate one day.
Oh no! I'm with the Gamer Nate. So that has a cooking channel now with some shit I heard. What the fuck's up with Gamer Nate?
I don't know. Maybe he sold his Wii U and bought a crock pot or something.
Yeah, I heard he has a cooking channel or some shit. Gamer Nate was way out there, bro. He don't even drive a truck anymore. I heard.
Are you? Oh damn!
Yeah, he got out of the hot dog truck, man. You know, like, yeah.
Man,
damn.
All right, well, Anything else, or?
Yeah. Your grandmother has a fat ass. Give her my number. You know how we do it.
Yeah,
you know it. Wait, actually, I'm looking for the Dr. Trey debate. Where the fuck is it? Here we go. Is this it right here? Nope, it's not it.
Hey, somebody says hip hop is still avoiding you. Is hip hop gamer avoiding you, man?
Yeah, I was gonna. Yeah, here's the thing. When I was not saying I'm huge, but when I was coming up in the ranks, I was like destroying everybody, debating them. You know what I mean? And again, if he wanted to debate me, and like I said, just facts, not trying to disrespect nobody. I'm open to do that. You know what I mean? But I'm out of debate. He's called battle rap mode. Your opinion is your opinion. If somebody with a big enough channel, we can have fun with it, do it respectfully. I'm all about it. Your hip hop. He didn't. I don't. Yeah, I don't think he wanted to do it, man. But it is what it is, man.
Are we still debate question? Damn.
Yeah, people. Believe it or not, don't worry. People like that type of shit,
Yeah, they do.
That's how I made my bones in the community, bro. I told you I didn't put that with everybody.
It's all opinion. It's all opinion.
No, that's when I get them all the time. And again,
everybody.
I don't debate someone about their opinion. I just stick with hardcore numbers and facts, and I fuck them up every time with that. Hit them with the okie doke, boop bop, knock their head off. You know what I mean? Well, Sony's better than PlayStation. Okay, all right, fine, that's cool. All right,
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Hey, we ran this shit long, man. Props to
crazy.
We had over 100 people watching us for
Shout
a long
out to
time,
the audience.
man.
Shout out to the audience. Woo, 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 woo.
Hey, you guys do a good job, man. Yeah,
Most compelling audience.
The most compelling audience watching the most compelling game-related podcast around.
Yeah.
We appreciate that shit. Hey, I got over 1 million views this week, man. So thanks to everybody.
Shout out to you faggot.
Yeah, thanks to everybody that comes over and watches some of my compelling-ass YouTube stuff as well. So
Did you just say you want people to come over and watch your compelling?
Watch your compelling. What?
My compelling YouTube rhetoric.
Faggot. Listen, guys, follow us on Twitter. Zaya, I'm trying to put everybody's Twitter. Hey, you guys, link me, you guys' Twitter handles, whatever. I can put it at the bottom of the video. And right now I'm going to tweet out the ultimate Dr. Trey versus Next Gen 720 live debate on right now on my channel. This is going to be funny. I think it's about 27 minutes, but you guys, that's a funny one. That's some funny shit there.
And this is a long podcast today.
Yeah, it is. But listen, we out of here. Big guys coming out.
Rack them up.
Bitches, switches, and switches.